Hey, what is up guys, it is SilverSun here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my review on the movie Finding Dory. Now pretty much it starts us off in a flashback to when she was a little kid, and basically she was just playing with her parents and whatnot. They don't tell us what happened, like how she got lost and whatnot. That's saved for later in the movie, but for right now, basically all we know is that, she had a pretty good life before with her parents and whatnot, but then she started forgetting things, and then pretty much had this little sad sequence of her just like traversing through the sea, trying to remember like where she came from and whatnot. And then they actually recreated a scene from the first movie about when she met Marlon and whatnot, and then it just cuts up to 1 year later, which is, present time now and whatnot. And I wouldn't be lying if I said that the little kid Dory wasn't cute. I mean, I thought it was really funny. The stuff she did and said made me laugh, and I just thought it was, a nice little part. And that actually occurs throughout the whole movie. Like, she starts getting flashbacks of her past and whatnot. But basically, this first flashback is her having a dream, and pretty much, she wakes up from it and whatnot, and then she pretty much goes back to bed. But then it cuts to the next morning, where we pretty much get to meet like everyone from the first movie except for the sharks. I mean, there were a few nods to the first movie, like they like quoted a few lines from it and whatnot. I thought that was kind of nice, but as far as that goes, I mean, it was kind of cool to see them back and whatnot, like all the past characters and whatnot. They sounded good and whatnot, but pretty much they go off and they get chased by this squid, because Dory's pretty much trying to look for her parents, because she automatically just starts remembering them from these flashbacks and whatnot. And so they start going on another adventure to this aquarium type place, where Dory meets one of my favorite characters from the movie. His name was Hank, and he was a septopus, and I liked how he can camouflage in the background and whatnot. I thought that was pretty cool, and I especially liked the conversations they had and whatnot, most of them at least. Just bouncing off each other's personality, Dory being the kind of ditzy, forgetful person, and then Hank just being like all serious and like straightforward with most things. But basically, the sum up was that he needed a tag that Dory had so that then he could get to Cleveland and get out of the aquarium, because he doesn't, well actually no, he actually does want to be in the aquarium. He doesn't like being in the ocean and whatnot. He mostly just likes being alone. But basically, him and Dory kind of team up for the majority of that part, until Dory runs into an old friend of hers. Her name was Bailey, and she's a whale basically, but she can't see very well and whatnot. But pretty much they like meet up and they start like chatting and whatnot. While that's going on, there's pretty much a side story between Marlon and Nemo, where they're trying to get into the quarantine zone to try and save Dory. And how they do that is they get on this bird named Becky, and basically some things mess up and they don't really get to where they need to go. I forgot how they did get in, to be honest, but they get in eventually. But I thought the little side story was okay, I mean, obviously they're not going to take up too much screen time, it's Finding Dory after all. And as far as Nemo's new voice actor goes, I think he did a really good job. He sounds pretty much like the original and whatnot. Same for, what was his name? I think it was Squirt, the little turtle, the little turtle kid. They sound pretty much the same, and I have to say it was good the way they performed and whatnot. As far as finding her parents, it actually took her a while, obviously, but like at first she tried to get into this one tank in the open ocean exhibit, but she didn't find them there. I mean, she saw shells, and pretty much she had a flashback of her picking up shells and whatnot, and if she followed them, then that would lead her home, basically. So she tried to follow that, but it didn't really lead to much until the end. Obviously, she finds them, but I don't know, the quality I watched it on, I mean, I didn't watch it in theaters, to be honest with you guys. I watched it online, and the quality wasn't too good, but basically, from what I saw, she fell off of this thing, I believe, and then eventually she I don't know if she was in the ocean or like in a tank or wherever, but it was like this old, decrepit, like open ocean place basically, and there were a lot of seashells there. And then she eventually got home, and then her parents were there and whatnot, and it was pretty nice, a pretty nice reunion right there. But pretty much, when that happens, Nemo and Marlin and the rest of them are getting sent somewhere else, so they pretty much have to go in and try to help them and whatnot. And they get into this little car chase and whatnot. And I did like the little Easter egg I saw at the A113 little Easter egg that they have in most of the Disney movies. I saw that, but yeah. And then they eventually, by the end, go back home and whatnot. And I don't know. I mean, the ending was good and whatnot. It just reminds me too much of the first movie, because it kind of ended off the same way. But I mean, it's an okay movie. I wouldn't say it's the best Pixar movie or anything like that. I mean, it's a sequel and whatnot. But I mean, it didn't necessarily have to be made, at least in my opinion. I mean, like, it's a good movie and whatnot. It told a pretty good story with good characters and whatnot. But I mean, I just didn't feel like it necessarily had to be made. I felt like the first one ended off pretty decently, but it's nice that they made it, and I thought that it was a pretty good movie. Not the best, but it's pretty good, and I'd recommend a few of you guys, especially the ones that watched the original, to see this movie. And if you already have, then tell me what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it's better than the original movie or worse? Or just comment that down below and tell me what you guys think. But until the next one, guys, Silver Sun is out.